Why? Just their heads?
It's so stupid and bad.
The show?
No, this specifically.
I like it.
You said it was Nanners. It looks like the cover of a bad romance novel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
This is So I'm watching Sirens, Season 1, Episode 2.
Talons.
I
don't know how to talk about this show. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to start.
It's really weird. That's not a complaint. That's not a criticism. What'd he say?
Oh, start in Russia, he says.
Start in Russia. It's weird. Where do you want to start?
I guess if we're gonna start in Russia, I guess let's start in Buffalo. We get a glimpse back after Devon gets her phone back of Ray, Josh Segarra trying to take care of their dad. It's not going great. He keeps forgetting who he is. It's pretty sad, actually. Apparently Ray brought light beer and he also can't stay and he can't take care of him the whole weekend, and Devon is just like, just do it, and like hangs up on him. So that's the Russia,
okay,
I guess.
Yeah. I'm starting to see a little bit where the play is, because the more they have conversations, the more we start getting information.
Yeah.
This episode opened with Devon scuba diving back to the cliff
she
house.
But she was in the scuba gear.
And breaking into the cliff house and getting to Simone's room. And they...
Well, while Jose is watching the whole time. Because we forgot to mention in episode 1 that there is like a smart house called Zeus. And so, yeah. So he literally
we mentioned
watches
the cameras.
her
There's cameras on cameras on cameras. But yeah. Jose is... well, okay, so I started to say Jose is like a much needed character, but he almost breaks the premise because he seems normal. The
normal
staff
enough anyway.
Yeah, the staff seems normal. We have him, and there's
Missy.
Is that the maid that she's talked to once or twice? And then is it Patrice, the cook?
Patrice is the cook, yeah.
Who is
Lauren Weidman.
She used to do all the VH1, like Best Week Ever, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love her. I'm waiting for something to happen with her.
Yeah, a little.
She's just sort of been in the kitchen in 2 scenes. Also, Simone is awful to the staff. And
really? Like, so in the first episode, you don't really realize that it's like her fault, but it's like... she's taking... Okay, but the thing is she's taking her cues from Kiki because Peter is really nice to the staff. Every time Kiki tells him to do something...
mean.
No, but she's just like,
she's
do this.
Shitty.
Yeah, like, just go do this. And then Peter is like, please and thank you to them. So it's also very clear that he's had this staff longer than he's had Kiki. Because we get... Okay... After Devon breaks in, she's trying to like pack up Simone's stuff and get her to leave. And Simone is really very Cassie from Euphoria. I have never ever been happier, but while crying, like sobbing, gross tears and snot. Not actually, but that's the vibe you get.
She gets there eventually.
And then we are treated to the fact that there are some sort of meds that Simone should be taking. She tells Devon she is taking them. So anyway...
One of which is Klonopin.
I think it's only Klonopin. I think those are all the prescriptions she's filled but not taken.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. It could be at least Klonopin and then others. So Devon is taken to the... what am I trying to say?
The police, though.
Like precinct, I guess.
Yeah. Well, because
all I could think of was police office, and that's not right.
Well, this is the night when Barnaby
department.
Yeah. Barnaby.
Yeah.
Committed suicide, kamikaze,
and Avicide.
And so Michaela / Kiki is sleeping with Simone, and apparently. like literally sleeping with her, like in bed with
They're
her.
not doing sex, but it is intimate.
Yeah, like facing each other and like.
I'm surprised they weren't holding hands.
I was thinking like when it was like panning up, I was waiting for them to be
like grasping hands.
And it apparently, it's not like a constant, but it's not uncommon to happen. And Kiki's like, I'm just going to call her Kiki.
That's fine. Okay. That's what I've been saying.
Kiki's like concerned that Simone didn't tell her about her sister.
Yeah.
And she asks if there's like anything else she hasn't told her. And that's when she tells.
Yeah, that was really good because before Kiki came in, Devon was like, why haven't you told her that you're sleeping with Ethan? And she was like, well, it doesn't matter. And she goes, because she pretended, and she was like, I told her. And that's when Simone freaked out and was like, why would you do that? And she goes, to prove a point. You clearly are not comfortable telling her that you're doing that. This is really weird. And so, yeah. So Devon gets arrested, and then she's in jail all night with Lily Rose. Hilarious. And she basically, so that's the thing is like, I feel like because.
And the police effectively work for Kiki. Like she has them.
Oh, yeah.
In her back pocket.
Yeah. Officer Coffin, like, how is your how's your dad? He's in remission. Oh, good. And like Devon is just rolling her eyes on the other side of the room.
She sent him an edible arrangement.
Yes.
So.
It makes me think that Simone didn't actually send the arrangement.
But she had to have. She just has to be mirroring, like she has to be copying Kiki
because
Kiki doesn't know about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Kiki didn't know about Devon.
She doesn't know about Devon. Does she know about the father? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we get this like nugget of information that what's Kevin Bacon?
Peter had a first wife.
Mm-hmm. And they had two children who were now adults who live away.
Yeah, Rory and Sarah, I think they said their names were. And that there's rumors that Kiki killed the first wife.
Well, his first wife just disappeared, I guess, when Kiki came in.
Very Shelley Miscavige.
Yeah. And, I mean, because you did the literal first shot of the first scene of the first episode.
Someone's going over that cliff. Those right. Well, and it might be Ethan.
Yeah, well, nothing happened, though.
Nothing did, but they're still on their way out there.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
That was after the funeral.
Yeah.
I also, like, I'm having a hard time. Time means nothing. Like,
there was also a bird funeral?
It's so weird. This sounds like a complaint. It's not. I'm enjoying watching it. I think as of now, I'm preparing myself for the outcome that I'm not going to get it.
You're not gonna understand it? Okay.
Like I think when this is over, I don't think everything's gonna suddenly fall into place and click.
That is often the nature with plays, though.
Because the cult part is increasingly culty. And they even made a Stepford Wives joke, but it was like Astrid and Chloe and
Lisa,
it's like each time they're invoked, they're slightly more cartoonish than the previous time. And I'm enjoying that because it's similar to, like I said, when Barnaby like killed himself in the first episode. It's like the show there's sort of like this undulation. There's like this ebb and flow of it being grounded and then sort of like losing itself in this like this it's not silly.
It's not silly, but it is heightened.
Yes. Yeah, like it gets
but it's very like rich. It's like a very heightened rich person like soup.
But it like borderline genre switching. That's sort of what I was bringing up with Jose and Devon sometimes. And there's like another character. Well, so far Peter's pretty grounded, but there's like a handful of characters on the periphery where I'm like, oh, we are still in the real world because like other parts of the show feel very satirical. And
I see. Okay.
Do you feel that way?
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I wouldn't have probably been able to vocalize it, but I definitely. Yeah, it does. You're right, because it does feel very grounded and for real sometimes, and then other times it's like.
Well, there's times where Devon's like on a caper, and then there's other times where I'm like, is she actually in danger?
Right.
Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I don't hate it. I'm enjoying it, but I don't quite know what to make of it.
Sure. Yeah, I get that for sure. So then...
Well, Kiki comes and gets her out of jail and basically...
But it's like because she's able to convince her that she feels sorry for what she did and like, let me come be a guest and maybe I'll like get it. Which she's totally lying through her teeth. But Kiki is like, sure, okay. And so they bring her back. They give her the guest house. And...
Because that's another thing I'm having a hard time reconciling with is how dumb is Kiki? Like... How high on her own supply is she?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Kiki is not dumb.
No.
I think she's an idiot. And I think she's too rich.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's probably more likely than dumb.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so we have Devon back in the guest house pretending to infiltrate this.
She's just wearing that Lily Pulitzer dress.
You hate it so much. I just like the pretty colors.
No,
I like
of course they're pretty colors, but it's like I went to college in South Carolina and
in the 2000s.
In the early 2000s, and that's all I saw for like 6 weeks every fall for 4 years during rush week. Like, ugh. So she is basically going around. She's trying to figure out how she can kind of get like proof that it's a cult, and now she's convinced that Kiki murdered the first wife. I am torn about that just because it would be shocking to me if that was correct at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also it like she really took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And I'm...
like she's accosting the Vanity Fair photographer and stuff.
And she's certain.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just heard this from like a certifiable...
I mean, she was just in the drunk tank.
Okay.
She
seemed like a wacko.
Lily Rose from the drunk tank in the Hamptons. So anyway, she's going through the whole thing. She ends up meeting Peter. They share a joint, and she's very
she gives him the third degree.
Unsubtly asking him questions about his previous wife and his adult kids and like what's, everything. He kind of clocks her, but he doesn't really do anything about it.
He also seems to like her, though.
Yeah. I mean,
and he seems to like Simone as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how aware he is of what Kiki's doing.
Of his wife's extracurricular
Well, because he is like, he is actually like a global venture capitalist, so he is like away a lot. I'm not sure how much he knows about the inner workings. I will say, so the necklace that Simone keeps wearing is the same necklace that those three Furies were wearing. Harpies is what I should have said.
Or Sirens.
Either, yeah. Well, they're not Sirens. Regardless, that's all the same, and all the men are wearing a button. So I assume it's for this, like, conservationist society that they started, but I don't know. My money's on like Vervain and those, something in that arena.
I'm having such a interesting time with the tone of the show because when we sat down, I was like, I wonder if we're gonna get like anything supernatural.
Yeah.
And when we were sitting down, I was like, almost definitely not. And now I'm in like I don't know, maybe. Like, maybe there's going to be a weird cult ritual sacrifice in, like, the 5th episode. Like,
yeah, I don't know. So basically Simone is kind of MIA for this whole episode because Peter and Jose and Kiki have a meeting where Simone is in there for a minute and she sees herself on security footage and then she basically freaks out and spirals. They have discovered that she is turning off one camera but doesn't know about the other one, basically like 3 to 4 nights a week, and going down those crazy stairs and then coming back like 5+ hours later. And they all basically put it together that she's having an affair with Ethan. I mean, relationship. Affair doesn't... they're having a relationship. Apparently, he goes all up and through the models every summer. And so, in some ways, Simone is an upgrade, but it's also kind of skeevy because she works for them. And so...
But it seems like they're mad at him.
Yeah, well, Kiki is mad at Simone because she's been lying about it and hasn't told her. But...
It's like taboo, but I feel like they can't settle on why.
Because he's their friend? And
no, I mean, I get that, but it's like, I'm curious, and like I mentioned a little bit earlier, but I was like, this is where the play part started to become apparent to me.
Yeah.
is because I'm like, it would be one thing if she was breaking a rule. Like, it would be one thing if Kiki was like, now you remember there's no fraternization or whatever. Right. But it seems like that's not necessary. They haven't said that was the case.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's frowned upon or like it's a faux pas.
But also, it's like, I don't know, it's very strange because also Peter is like, well, she's smarter than the girls he usually goes
Peter's
for.
Peter's sort of fine with it.
And she's sweet. Like, it kind of, who cares? And then, so she has a full breakdown in, like, the pantry or something. Like, literally screaming, crying, throwing up on the floor.
I mean, she wasn't literally throwing up, but she might as well have been.
She was, like, fully horizontal. And so
for
then...
hours, seemingly. Because all of this is set against, as you mentioned, a bird funeral, but also a Vanity Fair photo shoot with everyone.
Like 45 people in that picture. I remember how tough it was to organize, like, my...
wedding?
Like 14, not even that, like 14 family members at Christmas. Because every year it's like, gotta get a family picture. And I'm like, do we? I feel like we don't.
And you're right. Kiki's is upset about this relationship.
Yeah.
And she's going to take Ethan on a walk.
She's like, this really took it a lot out of me. Ethan, would you like to take a walk with me to the cliff? And it's like, fucking no.
And again, part of me is like, there's no way. But then another part of me is like, of course she's going to push him off this cliff.
Of course she's going to
I genuinely don't know which way I think the show's going to go.
Like, no, but it's like, of course she's going to come running to the house. Ethan tripped and fell off the cliff.
That's
like,
what it'll do.
You know?
So that way we're still unsure of what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, then Jose finds Devon very scarily in the woods again. He just like keeps sneaking up on her in the forest. It's so funny. So that's kind of where we leave it. I think you're right about Patrice. I think something else is going to happen with her. She and Peter had a really good conversation about like
the kids,
their kids. Yeah, all of like their respective
Well, he seems
kids.
like a person.
Yeah.
Where again, Kiki seems like an entity.
Kiki seems like she was birthed from the idea of goop. Gwyneth Paltrow's goop. So,
and then we do have, keep forgetting what he was saying his name was, but the guy.
Apparently his name is actually Morgan. Yeah.
And
he brought her back her phone, Devon. And he was like trying to smash again. And she's got so much going on. She missed a bunch of calls from Ray. And she was like, that's just my boss. And then she called him and goes, hey, fuck boy. Yeah. And Morgan is just like, like, what are we doing?
It's like the 6th different show that this show is.
That's the thing is like, I am having a good time. I just like, I feel like it's slipping through my fingers. Like,
how do you keep a wave across the shore, upon the shore?
Yeah.
And it's all very beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's also very artificial in that way that tickles my brain.
Yeah.
Because like when she went up on the
with Peter,
it's not like a widow's walk,
but it's like a lighthouse almost. Yeah.
Oh, is that the lighthouse?
That is a lighthouse.
No, so there's a different lighthouse. Yeah. Oh, they said she was like touring a lighthouse. Yeah. I was like, they said that word like 4 times.
Yeah. They lied and said she was doing the lighthouse tour when she was in jail overnight.
But it was all very like it was green screened clearly, but not shoddy. I don't know. It tickles. If you're a fan of our show, you know how like fond.
There you go.
How fond I am of that kind of that artificial shiny CG thing. I agree. I am enjoying what I'm watching. I just don't know what to make of it.
Same.
I'm curious if Astrid and Chloe and Lisa, if they're going to continue being weirder every single time.
I just want...
Because there was even the scene, it was when she was asking Ethan to go on the walk. They were like...
back there,
flanking, and it was predatory. It was like a bird of prey. Which it should be known there because the mermaids are all over this. Sirens are also birds. Yeah. They're bird women. So
yeah, I don't know. I just want Astrid to keep introducing herself to Devon. She did it like 3 times in this episode.
Well, again, anytime they're invoked, it's almost like a mantra or like a chant that.
Because also,
they're also not young.
No,
I'm used to like
young,
a show
beautiful.
about they're beautiful, but a show called Sirens, I would be expecting more.
No, but
Millie
like,
Alcott's.
but like Wolf of Wall Street, Margot Robbie is like what you.
Who's producing?
She is producing, yeah. Devon also got a necklace, but it's different than the other necklaces. It's a heart shape, and theirs are not heart shaped. And it looked like it had a mermaid on it. So I don't know. Very weird, very interesting.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, let's watch the next one.